Yeah. So now there is an error. What is the error? It says error could not find and load class. Class should not load. Example1.class. That's correct. Let me run one more time. Just a second. Caused by class 1 is there. Example class. Let me example1. That's correct. We add a dot class. Strange. So could not find a load main class example1. So let me check once more. It's there. There's no problem. Clear the screen. I've been running so many times. So I'll just check the path also a little bit later. C tool Selenium client. Let me check the path. So C tool Selenium. This could be the reason. This is my mistake. So path issues. So can we correct this path? So for that, libraries I given. Just wait for it. I copied everything at one place. Let me find its path. Just tools, Selenium, client. Where is the client coming from? This is Selenium Java. Oh, this whole path is wrong. Okay, let me write this whole path. Okay, so this is correct path. Okay, so this should work. Clear the screen. And see that. I mean, I don't think so. There should be an error, but I'll check that. Example 1. Let me compile one more time. And let me run it. Strange. Let me pause the recording and troubleshoot.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so now what was the mistake? So in the class path, you have to add both the file, both the locations, which is under all the jar files in this location and under this location. So please remember that. So that way it will help you. So now what has happened? This test case, I need to fire it one more time. So example one. Now it should pop up the browser and see that browser will come. Now use coming, load the DevOpsStrainer.in, check the title whether it's there or not as per the desire, and it will tell you whether the test is pass or fail. So this output is little confusing, so you have to go to little up to see the output. So where is the output? Test results. I'm just trying to check. This one. Can you see that test failed? Why this test is failed? Because this website, which is you have DevOps trainer.in, which you see that here, and if I see the title for this, and if you see the title here, the title is home and DevOpsStrainer.in, but what was expected? See here. Got it, all of you?
Yeah.
So what I'll do, I'll just change the code now. Real. This is the real code. I'll just copy paste to avoid any mistake further, and put the change the code, and then now we have to compile the class one more time. So compile. This is the code, and then I'm going to run it one more time. I'll copy it from the notes. Enter. And now you see that it will pop up your browser, do the testing. This is one test cases like that. You have to write a multiple code for multiple test cases. And close. Now whether it's passed or fail, let me show you. Go up and see here, test passed. Got it, guys, all of you? Okay, so now I'm going to ask you one questions to all of you. So just now I ran one code using the command line, but if you want to run thousands of code, thousands of test cases one by one, which technology which will be helpful for you? All of you? Hello? Am I audible?
Yeah, you're right.
So how many of you have gone through Maven or Gradle?
Yeah, I've been.
Yeah. So Maven will help you here. Gradle will help you. Remember that in that directory, instead of one file, you can have thousands of files, and this Selenium libraries file will be the part of the pom.xml, and you can do that.
Yeah, we can add the dependency there. Yeah.
Dependency there. Yeah. So I showed you manually so you understand the flow, but automations can be possible easily way. So Maven and Gradle session already has been covered, so it will be easy. Okay, so now this is the second part of the component of Selenium. So you understood that how to write a source code, client libraries, driver, and run with the browser and do the testing. But you know, there is one problem in this. This whole approach will work in the only one machines. So let's say this is a linear sequence. The testing will happen. One test, two tests, three tests, like that. If you have 1,000 tests, then how much time it will take? 1,000 minutes. That's going to be huge. So what to do to do the parallel setup, parallel testing mechanism? What to do? That is where you are going to use a grid actually, Selenium grid. Selenium grid, how it works? Let me show you here. So what you will do? This is your code. It can be one code or thousands of code. Okay, this code you will send it to the grid, and grid will have lots of machine attached to it. one machine, two machines, three machines. And here, let's say one test, two tests, three tests, 4, 5, 10, 100, 200, 500. So all the test cases, it will be sent to grid, and grid will decide here it will run one, then two test cases here, and three test cases, 4, 5, 6. So in this machine, what you'll having? You'll be having a web driver, and web driver will call the Firefox. Okay, so this is the way you can do the parallel testing, and you can reduce the feedback time for the large project. So did you understand that, all of you? Yeah. So now the question is, how do we start the grid? How do we start the grid? So for grid, okay, grid, this is the server and this is the grid client. So for grid client and server, there's only one software needed, and that is called that library. Let me show you first on the here. Download. This is Selenium website, and you see that server or grid, whichever you want to call it, it's up to you. This is the latest version. So I have already downloaded. So I want to show you here. Look at this. This is the my grid or server software. So now what you have to do, you have to create a one server instance as per the image, and then you have to have multiple node. I'll create one node and one server in the same machine just for the demo. So how do we start it? So open up this command line after downloading, and then I'm going to run this command. All this command you can find on the internet also, and in recording also you have it. So this command. So this command will create a server. Okay. So can I run this command? The same machines, enter. So this is server edition. Okay. Now let it come, and you see that here started Selenium Hub 4.4. I think few months older, and this is the address of this. Okay. So if you want to go and browse that website, probably you can do that. See here, this is your grid. So right now there is no node registered with it. There's no node actually. Okay, so that is the first component. I got it, this one. Any questions, any doubts so far?
No.
Okay, now I have to add the nodes for this. So how do I add a node? So recently the code has changed. I need to check that. Let me see that. So how do I add a node? So for adding a node, the command is this one. Okay, this is the command. So node I think you know what, command has changed, but I'm not able to recall that. I think this one command or this one, this is older version. So let me check this first one, because here I have noted down working. So now in other machines also I'll have this jar file, and let's open up in other machine acting like this, and then start one node. So Java jar, and this is the node one, role node hub. So you can write this code, but right now let's start with this one. So enter. So now I'm adding on one node. Now if you think that your server is in different locations, then you can pass this variable for registering it. Okay, so it will work. So now seems node has been added in the localhost same machines. Right now you see that, so machines. So can I refresh this? See that here one node has been added. So now as per the architecture, I wanted as per the demo, I wanted to have one grid and one node. Are you clear, all of you?
Yeah.
Okay, after this what I need to do? The code need to be sent to grid. Okay, so what is the code? Same code, but we have to send to the grid. So let me show you the code again. This is the code, and here if you look at this, Mind it here. Here, your driver is not a local driver, but it's a remote driver. Got it? Means grid. This is the address of grid. Understood? Now, address of IP address I need to check. So, what is this? 192.168.1.1. It's the same because I have not changed it, so it's last time only. So, in the last program, if you remember, you were not passing this grid address, but here we are passing a grid address. Rest of the code will be the same. So, what to do? Now, I think you know that. So, for I have to compile it, okay? So, I have to compile it using this command. So, Javik, this command. Where is the code? Code here. Code is here only. I'll delete the class file. Command. And see here. You're compiling it. This code, this will compile. And finally, this will run. See. Run. So now what will happen? You know, the code will be sent to the grid, and you should look at the grid log actually. Look at this here. Code will see here added, and grid will send the code to the node, which is of course same machine, and then in that machine it will pop up the Firefox and do the testing, and it will tell you that code is passed and failed. So this will take little time, but you should see that it started getting Firefox. See, browser is loaded and testing is happening. So this way, you know what? This way you can do a lot of testing and parallelly, and you can reduce the waiting time for overall your testing. Are you understanding, all of you? It's a little slow. All of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So it should come faster, but little slow. And now you should see the status. You can also press enter. Automatically it will get refreshed. You see the background is getting loaded. DevOpsStrainer.in. See that? And test is passed or fail. You'll get to know. And here work is done. So now this is the grid, and just wait for a few seconds and you will get to know about the status. And here also refresh how many sessions you had. Only one session, only one test cases from this new node URL. You can have this one also. Maximum 8 you can send as per the current configurations, and so okay. So guys, this is the Selenium. Now, so what you learn? So some of Selenium is, see, test failed. Okay. So Selenium is a functional testing tool for web applications. And if you want to start at minimal, try web ID. Then if you want to write a code, try the WebDriver, and then run parallelly a lot of code in the multiple machine using grid. And the code can be written in any languages, which I have shown you, talked about it. One of the language I showed you, and so on. So guys, this is Selenium. Any questions so far?
Thanks for watching. Want to study further? Join our training programs today.